Please rise, ladies and gentlemen, announcing the arrival of His Excellency, President of the Republic of Indonesia, to the venue. Let us extend a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome His Excellency to the venue. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. The President of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Dr. Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, Ministers of the Second United Indonesia Cabinet, APEC CEO Summit 2013 Chair, Mr. Wishnu Wardhana, CEO Global Leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We extend our warmest and gracious welcome to all of you to the island of Bali for the opening ceremony of APEC CEO Summit 2013. The APEC CEO Summit is a premier business event in the Asia-Pacific. This year's theme, Towards Resilience and Growth, Reshaping Priorities for Global Economy, will provide enriching discussions by policymakers, business leaders, and innovative thinkers on securing inclusive, sustainable growth, shared development, and common prosperity. And to commence the opening ceremony, we cordially invite to the stage APEC CEO Summit 2013 Chair, Mr. Wishnu Wardhana, to deliver remarks.
Your Excellency, Dr. Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, President of the Republic of Indonesia, Excellencies and Ministers, distinguished delegate of the APEC CEO Summit, welcome to Indonesia, to this very special island of Bali. We thank you for coming and sincerely hope that you will take time to enjoy yourself. There is much to see and do. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, the presence of more than 1,200 business leaders, the participation of 12 APEC leaders, and our distinguished lineup speakers show that the APEC CEO Summit continue to be a landmark event in the global business calendar. But the APEC CEO Summit is much more than a landmark event. In APEC, business is considered to be a partner in change. Business priorities are integral and a value part of the process. That's what makes this summit so unique and your view so important as we chart the future of our region. This year, we are asking you to take a world view. Of course, the global perspective has always been important for APEC, but the economic turmoil of recent years and the current uncertainty in weaknesses in financial market have shown just how much global market matter to all of us. A recovery is in sight, but most agree it will be slow and difficult. A return to stronger growth and greater resilience will require some serious reshaping priorities, both globally and regionally. We might even need to rethink some parts of the paradigm. Over the next 2 days, we have a rich and thought-provoking program with world-class speakers and panelists and important keynotes. Above all, we want to hear your view on the priorities ahead, whether it is informal discussion or over lunch or coffee. You come from across the globe and from all the key sectors of industry. The wealth of business talent and experience in this room is unparalleled. I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, that President Yudhoyono has some real experience in this matter as well. His presidency over the last 9 years has been devoted to reshaping and reforming Indonesia. And he has worked with global and regional leaders in many institutions to build a stronger international environment. At home, the President has consolidated one of the world's most rapid and successful transition to democracy in this very large country. He has fought relentlessly for stronger and cleaner governance. He has made job creation and financial inclusion central to his presidency. He has begun a program of infrastructure development to open the rich provinces of Indonesia for further business and investment. And in difficult political circumstances and challenging economic times, he has maintained the macroeconomic integrity and stability of this rapidly growing $1 trillion economy. As I'm sure the President will agree, none of this has been easy in this very lively democracy. His every reform is examined and discussed by the world's second largest Facebook population, the fifth largest Twitter population, and a very active media, let alone the proudly independent parliament. But he has achieved real reform, real result. Indonesia's strong FDI inflow, its growth in domestic investment, and its rapidly expanding population of middle-class consumers tell the story. The President will be the first to say there is still much to do. I think he has made sure there is no turning back for Indonesia, despite some debate you might hear at this very political stage in the electoral cycle. On the international economic front, President Yudhoyono's contributions are well documented. As a co-chair of the UN panel on the post-2015 development agenda, and as a founding member of the G20 leaders meeting, he has helped shape the global growth and development agenda. And closer to home, President Yudhoyono has been at the forefront with his regional colleagues in undertaking profound changes to the architecture of East Asia and ASEAN. In all of this, he has been a champion of the role of a business. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that from day one, the President has taken very close interest in the preparation of this summit to ensure that we give you a memorable and meaningful time in Bali. Let me now turn to His Excellency, President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, to deliver opening key address of the APEC CEO Summit 2013. Please welcome the President of the Republic of Indonesia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu. Peace and prosperity to us all. Your Excellencies, Ministers of APEC Economies, Honorable Governor of Bali, distinguished CEOs from the Asia-Pacific region and other parts of the globe, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to welcome you to Indonesia, and I trust that all of you are enjoying the island of Bali, which is also known as the island of the God. It is indeed a great honor for me to address this APEC CEO Summit. And I am pleased to see such huge participation by the regions and world corporate community here today. I wish to thank also my fellow APEC leaders, many of whom would also have the honor to speak to this forum. This APEC CEO Summit is also an opportunity to showcase the phenomenal growth of the private sector in our region. The rapid expansion of business has totally changed our 21st century economic landscape for the better. Governments will remain important in formulating economic policies, but without the help of the private sector, we might not be able to provide more jobs for our citizens. And we know that whatever country one comes from, the top national and local agenda is going to be jobs. This is why I am also glad to welcome the participation of the union leaders at this summit. For we are all in this together, and we need to work together and harder to achieve shared prosperity. Already, global growth in 2013 is showing different dynamics. Advanced economies are experiencing recovery and showing positive growth, while emerging economies, including BRICS economies, are facing a slowdown. They are also suffering from large trade deficit, capital flight, and depreciating currencies. This is also true for the APEC region. In some APEC advanced economies, growth is gaining strength. Meanwhile, APEC emerging economies need further momentum for growth. Notwithstanding this, APEC economies remain a crucial source of global growth. According to the IMF, as a group, APEC is expected to grow by 6.3% in 2013 and by 6.6% in 2014, which is more than twice the world average. At present, APEC economies account for 54% of global gross domestic product and 44% of global trade. Within the region, moreover, trade has grown nearly sevenfold since 1989, reaching over 11 trillion US dollars in 2011. In the past 25 years, average tariffs in APEC have declined by close to 70%. The cost of conducting business across borders decreased by 2 successive rounds of 5% tariff reduction, resulting in nearly 59 billion US dollars of saving for businesses. All this shows that with its combined potential, APEC is in the ideal position to help the recovery of the global economy. Therefore, APEC members, through individual and collective measures, must put extra effort to promote growth. And let me highlight some of the possible measures. First and foremost, we all need to do our part to prevent protectionist policies and continue on our path of trade liberalization in ways that uplift the well-being of all our citizens. We must also ensure that our trade relations are not only strong, but also balanced. Second, we need to intensify efforts to stimulate investment within our region so as to maintain growth and create jobs. There is tremendous opportunity for this as we are experiencing a rapid growth of middle class. Third, we need to develop more and better infrastructure as an essential element for our connectivity. This will, of course, help not only to facilitate trade and investment, but also boost job creation. APEC needs to tackle inefficiency in the supply chain. We have to make it easier, cheaper, and faster to conduct trade in goods and services across borders. In this regard, it is crucial that we promote the APEC 2013 priority in connectivity. We welcome public-private partnerships to develop needed infrastructures. Fourth, to ensure growth with equity, we must embrace the SMEs that form the backbone of all our economies. Fifth, we must work together to ensure the financial stability, which is an absolute requisite for sustainable all economic activities, including trade and investment. APEC members can help stabilize global financial markets through bilateral as well as regional initiatives. These include regional financing agreement and financial stability board. Chiang Mai Initiative multilateralization is a good example of close collaboration among some APEC members. Sixth, to ensure development for all, we must not forget to provide social safety net for the poor and financial inclusion for shared prosperity. Seventh, APEC economies can only achieve all this if we intensify our policy coordinations and consultations. Ladies and gentlemen, as we set the theme and priorities of APEC 2013, Indonesia envisions the future of this region as prosperous, stable, dynamic, inclusive, and forward-looking. Our theme, Resilient Asia-Pacific, Engine of Global Growth, is all about drawing on our strengths. Our objective is to make the region the epicenter for the world economic advancement. And in that light, Indonesia has set 3 priorities for our APEC year. I believe through close collaborations with the business community, APEC can achieve these priorities. The first priority is attaining the Bogor goals. APEC economies have achieved tremendous progress toward achieving the Bogor goals. But while APEC has reduced average tariff from 16.9% in 1989 to 5.7% in 2011, restrictive non-tariff measures, lengthy custom procedures, and poor transport infrastructure still pose challenges to trade. Therefore, as we continue to work for trade and investment liberalization, as well as deeper regional economic integration, we must have the capacity to tackle those challenges. We have to be able to address growing trade barriers, financial instability, and fluctuating commodity prices. Second, achieving sustainable growth with equity. Today, APEC economies are confronted by new challenges that could cause disruption and stunted growth. Among them is population growth. The global population has grown from just over 5.5 billion people in 1994 to more than 7 billion today. By 2045, there will be 9 billion people worldwide. And much of this population increases will come from the Asia-Pacific region, placing a great burden on the supply of energy, food, and water for our people. We cannot achieve APEC's goals without ensuring the principle of inclusions in our economic growth and development. Therefore, maintaining the growth path that is sustainable and inclusive is of great importance. And our efforts should focus on economic empowerment, engagement of stakeholders, enhancement of SMEs' global competitiveness through innovation, and tapping women's productivity in the economy. It is also critical to ensure financial inclusion, strengthen food security, and improve access to health services. And third priority is promoting connectivity. Unlike in 1994, the advent of new technologies has opened new ways for people to do business with each other across countries and across continents. Improving connectivity, therefore, become a critical priority. I believe that a focused and improved physical, institutional, and people-to-people connectivity will help integrate our region. It will also facilitate the flow of goods, services, capital, and people of the Asia-Pacific. Thus, we must work together to strengthen connectivity through infrastructure development and the promotion of infrastructure investment. Indonesia will work with APEC leaders and all stakeholders to advance these three priorities. And after all, our success is strongly tied to the success of others. Like other emerging markets, Indonesia is facing some headwinds resulting from financial market turbulence. Yet the situation is manageable, and the Indonesian government is responding to it with a package of policy measures, including substantive structural reforms. As a result, in recent times, Indonesia's financial market has stabilized. We believe this is only a short-term challenge, and we are confident that in the long-term prospect to invest and grow is enormous, as Indonesia will remain a land of opportunity and growth. Today, Indonesia has become a trillion-dollar economy with a large middle class. Our democracy is strongly rooted, and this makes Indonesia well-placed for your investment. McKinsey predicted that Indonesia business opportunity will increase up to $1.8 trillion in 2030. This opportunity ranges from consumer services, agriculture and fishery, resources to education industry, and infrastructure. We continue to create a better business and investment environment and addressing many of the challenges. We have made steady progress, including from major bureaucratic reforms to strengthen government institutions. To accelerate development, in May 2011, we launched the Master Plan for the Accelerations and Expansions of Indonesia's Economic Development 2011-2025. In the next 14 years, we are targeting to reach over $460 billion worth of investment in 22 main economic activities integrated in 8 programs. These include agriculture, mining, industry, energy, marine, tourism, and telecommunication. Therefore, the master plan offers a great deal of opportunities for international investors. As a final point, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, also in my capacity as the Chief Salesperson of Indonesia Incorporated, I invite you all to seize the business and investment opportunities in Indonesia. Let us build a strong partnership and forge a resilient APEC. Let us also ensure that APEC continues to bring prosperity to all people in the APEC region. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, APEC CEO Summit 2013 is now officially open. We extend our highest appreciation to President Yudhoyono for officiating this premier business event in the Asia Pacific. And now, may we request you all to rise as President Yudhoyono will leave the venue. Let us show our appreciation once again by extending another round of applause to President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed.